So fast forward to 2019, and uh, I'm told by City of Hope I'm not a candidate for the one trial I could find. So I wound up, I spent hours online searching. And this drug, DS8201, I'd been following it for a long time. It's also FDA approved now, and you probably know it by Enhertu. Excuse me. So Enhertu, I knew that they were having incredible results. And I also knew the oncologist who was running most of the trials at UCLA. I mean, I knew of her. I had seen her also for a second opinion a few years prior. So I shot her an email and I just said, I'm in dire straits. Here's what my little brief update. Do you have anything I would qualify for? And she emailed me right back. I'm leaving the country. I have a 7 a.m. appointment tomorrow morning. Open. Can you come in? We can discuss. So even though I'm not a morning person, I definitely got there. And she brought up this trial that they were just opening, DS8201, also known as Enhertu, with nivolumab. So that's an immunotherapy drug for PDL, PD1 positive, which I'm not. But I was mostly wanting that DS drug. And reading the inclusions and exclusions, I definitely did not fit the mold. But she really advocated for me. She had me rescanned and restaged from head to toe and tried to find a way and get permission and get exceptions to get me into that trial. She was so confident that they would take me. And she was fighting so hard to include me that she had me wash out. And washing out means you stop all treatment and get ready for your new treatment. Excuse me. So it's important to know that you can always ask for exceptions. And asking, it doesn't hurt. The worst they could say is no. So in my case, we asked and they said, okay. During this time of washout, in my opinion, I was washed out for too long. And I wound up having another brain met show up. So we had to put the brakes on all the forms, all the enrollment, everything, screeching halt. And again, asked permission to get treated because it said stable brain mets. Well, once you're treated, you can't really see if you're stable for months. It just takes a long time for the radiation to settle down, to see if the met has died. And a lot of times, dying cells look the same as growing cells. So I was freaking out, like, I can't wait 3 months. I'm going to have more brain mets. And I mean, just sending polite emails, every email, polite as can be, but every day, pressure on, squeaky wheel. And finally, they agreed they would rescan me 10 days post treatment of the brain met. And the other exception I got, right off the bat, I said, because they are local to LA and my treating facility is local, right off the bat, I said, I will only do brain stuff with my brain surgeon. I've had a relationship with him since 2008. Yes, he started off as 13. He's now a grown man, but he is my guy. and it's got to be apples to apples. I can't start going to another facility with other opinions. So they made that exception, and they allowed me 10 days post gamma, post SBRT, targeted targeted brain radiation, 10 days to get a scan just to prove no new meds. So it was a bit of a gray zone. We couldn't say for sure the old met was killed, but we could say no new meds. And so she enrolled me. I started that trial the day after Christmas in 2019.
And how long did you remain on that trial?
That was probably one of the hardest therapies I've ever done. I never recovered every infusion. So it was a 3-week protocol, and I would have an infusion. But it kept me, it took the most from me, but it did the most for me. So it kept me not just stable, but it got rid of so much disease for almost 1 whole year. I tried during that entire year so many different things to manage. Nausea was my big thing. So, every month we would try either a different drug, a different combination of drugs. And again, the nurse practitioner and their team, the clinical trial team, they worked so hard. They got a lot of exceptions, permission from the sponsor to try to help my quality of life so I could remain in the trial. The sponsor invests a lot. By the time they've scanned you and run all your labs, pulled any biopsies, they're heavily, monetarily invested. And so they want you to be able to stay in their trial. So they're willing to, if it means approving another anti-nausea medication, they're usually willing to do stuff to accommodate, to keep us alive and relatively well.